Hello and welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today. Today I thought I would join in with 6x6 week. 6x6 week is how is kind of hosted really by my upline Pootles, and she does some fantastic DSP shares. And you get 6x6 pieces of loads of the designer series papers in the catalogue. And this week she's decided to feature 7 projects using 6x6 pieces of paper. So I thought I would join in today. I don't normally post a video on a Wednesday, but you know, joining in. So this lovely little box just uses a piece of 6x6 by 6 inch designer series paper. This is the Go Wild designer series paper stack, which comes in 6x6. How many times can I say 6x6 in one video? Who knows? And it's lovely. I have to say, I was a bit nervous about this designer series paper because I'm not into animal print. And when I looked at it in the catalogue, I just thought, not going to buy that because it's full of animal print. But I received it as part of a product share, and I'm going to have to go out and buy it now because there's loads of really cute patterns. I mean, look at that, it's so gorgeous. And it's Whisper White, black, Basic Black and Tip Top Taupe, and that's the only 3 colours in it, and it's beautiful. So this little bag is designed to hold, if I can get them out, a packet of poppets. Now I have to admit here, I did have 2 packets of poppets for this video and I've eaten one of them, so I'm just going to have to use this one again. So I'm going to pop this bag shut, and for today's today's version, this version's in the Go Wild. This is the Bohemian DSP, which is another one I was a little bit nervous about because of that. It's just so bright and it's just not me at all, but the kind of B-sides of the paper are lovely, and this is in Very Vanilla and Delightful Dijon. So I shall grab my scoreboard and we'll get started. So like I said, you'll need a piece of designer series paper that is 6 inch by 6 inch for this, or I think it's 15, it's about 15 by 15, isn't it? And it would be really good if I had my notes open on the right page. There we go. So we're going to score, so you need a piece of designer series paper that's 6 inches by 6 inches or 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And I apologise for the metric measurements, they're a little bit awkward, but I tend to work in imperial on this size. So we're going to score at 2 1/8, 2 7/8, 5 and 5 3/4, which I know leaves you just the tiniest, weeniest, skinniest little bit, but I'm working in 6x6. So that is 5.3 centimetres, 7.3, 12.6 and 14.6 centimetres. I apologise, I am sorry. I'm going to turn it around and score the bottom at 3/4 inch, which is 2 centimetres. So I'll get rid of my scoreboard. And we're going to really carefully fold on our score lines. When I can see them. There we go. So we've now got a really, really skinny section. And so what I'm going to do is, if you hold with the bottom flap at the bottom, and we're going to cut off this really skinny little bit on the edge. And we're going to cut up the other score lines to that one and only horizontal. so, and just take out a tiny weeny little notch out of the square pieces. Just gives a nicer close to the bottom of the box. So we're now going to close our little bag, and I'm going to run, I've got our new tear and tape adhesive, which I absolutely love, and this is exactly 1/4 inch wide, so you haven't got any wiggle room here whatsoever. And I have to admit, on this version you can actually see I've actually completely, the seam is a bit strange, and I've had to cut a very skinny section off. You may be better off doing this with a liquid glue, or cutting yourself a slightly wider section of this DSP, so maybe 6 1/4 by 6 inches. As you can see, I've got a little bit of that tear and tape adhesive just sticking over the edge, but I will deal with that in a second. My top tip for dealing with this adhesive, I love this, it's much better than our red liner sticky strip that we had before, but I still like to run my bone folder over it just to make sure it's well stuck before I take the backing off. And I was going to roll that adhesive back onto itself just so that it is the right width. There we go. And you can fold it over and it will meet exactly. Make sure it's square. And then, so that there where the seam is the back of the box. So we're going to fold in both our sides and the back, and a little bit more tear and tape on the front. Check it's stuck. Freshly painted nails and tape backing don't go together very well. I'm just going to make sure it's square and fold the bottom. It's really simple. So we're now going to pop our poppets inside and just fold in the sides. So if you pinch these two together, push your fingers in, and you will find that it only, of course, it only goes down, the sides only go down to where that poppets box is, which gives us a lovely little triangles. I've got our 1/4 inch handheld punch, and I'm just going to pop 2 holes, my punch the right way up, 2 holes in our bag. And I have the Delightful Dijon dotted lace trim, and we're going to just pop this through the front to the back, and from the back to the front. And then I'm going to attempt to tie a bow on camera, which never works well, does it? Never ever goes well, this tying a bow on camera business. Oh, it's not too bad, it's passable. So just, it's a bit wonky, but it'll do. I'll neaten it up for the pictures, I promise. And then I have a teensy bit of, oh my goodness, that's made it even worse. Look at that, look at the state of that. Oh dear, I promise I will sort that out for the pictures. I've got a tiny bit of stamping, so I've got a piece of very vanilla, because that is the background of this DSP, and I've got the Crazy About You stamp set. I love this, I use this all the time, it's fabulous. A lovely collection of sentiments. I've got the kind of, I call it like a flowery flower thing. It's a scalloped circle punch, I suppose, stamp, I suppose, and the sentiment that says "For Being You," and it would be really useful if I got out my Delightful Dijon ink. So my Dwight for Dijon ink down there, and the For Being You just on the edge. Close that up before I put my fingers in it. I've got the 1 3/4 inch scallop circle punch, which fits around this just beautifully. And then I'm going to take my long handled scissors and just cut out, like you could use your trimmer and get a neater look, but I'm quite enjoying the messy handmade look at the moment. And I'm going to pop a dimensional on the back of there. Oh, that. And a bit of snail on the back of the For Being You. Like that. And that is my Poppets gift bag for 6x6 week. Thanks very much for watching. All the details and measurements are over on my blog. The link to this direct blog post with this project on is in the down bar below. Click that like button and subscribe to see more from me. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.